Have you ever been in a situation where you want to help someone, but you can't? There's nothing you can do to help, and you just feel helpless? A few years ago, a woman came up to me in the foyer of the Sydney Opera House. It was just after one of our Wesley Life Force memorial services there, and she came up and she wanted to thank me for the prayer that I offered in the service. She wasn't a Christian, but she wanted to thank me for the prayer. And that opened up what was the most beautiful and heartbreaking conversation, as she just opened up her grief, her deep, deep grief at having lost her brother to suicide. She had been really close with her brother. They had shared a bond all their lives. And now that bond was broken, and she just felt this pain, this searing pain, this empty place in her. And to compound her grief, she couldn't talk about it with anyone. In her family, in her social circles, and among her friends, it was an absolutely taboo subject, not to be spoken of. And so she just held it inside. She suffered alone. She hadn't been able to talk about her brother or her pain with anyone until she opened up to a stranger in the Sydney Opera House foyer. And I listened to her pour out her story and her brother's story. And when she had laid it all out there, I just wanted to help her. I wanted to do more. I wanted to connect her with the community and the resources and the support that we can offer through Wesley Life Force. But she declined. She said, "No, I can't. I can't." She explained that she would break relationship with her family and with her friends, and she couldn't risk that. And just being there that day, coming into the Opera House, she had to tell everyone that she was just going into the city to do some shopping. She couldn't tell anyone that she was going to mourn and grieve her brother. And I just felt so helpless. All I had to offer her was presence and prayer. And so I asked her, "Would you welcome it if I were to pray for you?" And her response was, it almost interrupted the invitation. She said, "Yes, please, would you pray for me?" And then I asked her, "Would you prefer that I pray privately in my personal prayers for you, or would you like to pray now?" And she said, "Now, please. Can we please pray now?" And so we closed our eyes right there in the foyer of the Sydney Opera House. We closed our eyes with people milling all around, and we prayed. And I just lifted up what she had poured out. I lifted up her love for her brother, her pain, her loss, her anger, all the things that she just poured out. We lifted them together up to God. And when we opened our eyes, I could see tears streaming down her face, but they weren't tears of distress. You could see that they were tears of release, of almost joy. And she had this sort of half laugh and half cry with a broad smile on her face. And she thanked me again for the prayer. And then she said that she had to go and quickly do some shopping so that she'd have something to bring home. And she turned and she went out the door. And I never saw her again. You know, I think that sometimes we underestimate what a powerful gift prayer can be to give to somebody. God gives us the gift of prayer. He doesn't give us the gift of prayer to hoard to ourselves, but to share with others. But I think sometimes we underestimate what a powerful gift it can be to give when it is given as a gift. You know, that's an important distinction. It's not always given as a gift. Sometimes prayer has strings attached. When prayer has strings attached, it's not a gift. When prayer has an ulterior motive, or a hidden agenda, it's not a gift. When prayer is really just a disguise for a moral lecture, Lord, please help so-and-so to remember not to do this and to do that, it's not a gift. When prayer is really a sort of pious cover for juicy gossip, it's not a gift. And when we offer to pray for somebody, but we really don't, when we say, oh, you're in my thoughts and prayers, but we don't actually pray, that's not a gift. That's just self-serving sanctimony. But when prayer is truly given as a gift, when it's given from a place of love and compassion before someone else and humility before God, I found that people almost never are offended to be offered that gift. They recognize the value of that gift. Whether they choose to accept it or to decline it, they recognize that they've been offered a gift in genuine love. And that in itself is a gift. The offer of the gift is a gift. I know some of the most important moments in my life have been times when people have prayed for me. When I think about those moments, when I think about those prayers, they have not been filled with lots of churchy jargon. They've not been particularly poetic or beautiful prayers, but they have been real. And they have spoken hope into times of despair. They've lifted me up in times when I couldn't lift myself up. They've opened the relationship with God when I felt it was cut off. And those prayers have had an enormous impact on my life. I don't have words to express my gratitude to God for those prayers that people prayed for me. But it's okay that I don't have words. You know, it's okay if you don't have words to say in prayer. Prayer is not about finding the most beautiful words. Prayer is about connecting our hearts and the hearts of others with the heart of God. Coming humbly before God, being real before God, and trusting that He inclines and He hears our cries. Some of the best prayers, some of the most powerful prayers don't include any words at all. Some of the most powerful prayers are prayers offered just in silence. And when God prays for us, when the Holy Spirit intercedes for us, we see this in Romans 8, when the Holy Spirit intercedes for us in prayer, it's not with some eloquent language. It's with sighs and groans too deep for human words. So if you're thinking, well, I can't offer the gift of prayer to someone, I don't have those words, you don't need those words. You just need that heart, you need that spirit. And to bring that before God and let God carry the prayer with you, and for the person that you're offering that to as a gift. When I stood with that woman in the Opera House foyer, I felt helpless to help her. And I thought, well, at least I can pray. But her response reminded me that sometimes prayer is not the least we can do. Sometimes it's the most that we can do. Sometimes prayer is exactly what someone needs more than anything else. And so I encourage you to share that gift with someone today. And in that, I pray that you have a hope-filled day.